In this video, I'll show you how to make a strong, floating TV stand that won't change its geometry. And I'll also share an interesting trick for making wood facades that won't warp. Let's get this thing rolling. As with any wood project, it all starts with sawing the boards into planks. After that, I glue all planks into panels, taking care to match the direction of the grain, so they end up looking in different directions. Before gluing the front panels, I make through holes in each plank using a Festool domino joining machine, but this can also be done with a hand router. Then I push a wooden stabilizer through the holes. Later, I will glue the veneer on both sides. This construction will prevent the fronts from warping. Well, maybe very minimally. After I align the veneer's edges, I stick it together with Scotch tape. It's crucial to peel off the tape right after gluing the veneer, or it'll be a pain to get off later. I use a handmade vacuum press for pressing. The time of pressing is 4 hours. Probably it is possible in less time to press. If you know how long it should be pressed, please write in the comments. Then it's time for the rounded corners. I use a CNC machine to make them. Now I cut the pieces at a 45 degree and make the holes for the dominoes. The plywood here is just to keep the piece from falling off after cutting. Yes, I know the direction of the grain are facing in different directions. This is done intentionally so that the pieces hold together and do not warp. Now I have to saw the side pieces to hide the joints. This time I didn't make a template, but drew the outline of the part. At first I marked the parts with a marker and wanted to cut sparingly, but later I decided to go with a different approach. So I'm cutting as I go and taking the parts to the CNC. These parts can also be cut out by hand, using a template and a copying cutter with a bearing. If anyone's interested, just let me know in the comments and I'll walk you through it. Just be careful, or you might get hit in the forehead with that wedge. I was lucky in my case. When I was editing this video, it only occurred to me then, why did I cut these parts on the CNC if I was going to mill them later? Let's say it was necessary. Next up, probably the most unpleasant part of the job, at least for me, is sanding, sanding, sanding. All parts need to be sanded well before veneering. All joints must match perfectly because there will be only 1 millimeter for sanding after veneering. By the way, here's a little life hack for you. When I'm sanding the inside of curved planes, I use a sanding disc that's a bit larger than the sander pad. This makes the sanding more even and it keeps the pad from wearing out. I use domino joints and polyurethane glue to glue all the parts together. The result is a very strong joint, I promise. The only problem is that it's really hard to sand in the inner corners, since the sander doesn't reach the corners, so I have to sand them by hand. I saw that Festool has a sander just for this task, and I'm curious to know if it does what it's supposed to. If anyone else is still watching this video and uses such a sander, Please respond in the comments. Here's another trick for clamping this type of part when the clamp is too short. I attach the sandpaper to the part with double-sided tape. Then, I put a block on top and clamp the whole sandwich with clamps. If you go back 15 seconds, you can look one more time at this construction. The last important job is fitting the headboard and fronts, but I'm not going to experiment with good parts since I'm a bit crooked. I'm going to make a template instead. Once the template is fitted, it's a piece of cake to make the parts. Just cut, mill, sand, paint, and there you have it. Oh yeah, there's also the fittings. Are you still here? Then hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more projects. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.